As the legal battle between NewJeans and Ador continues, both sides have laid out their arguments in court, offering to vastly different narratives. Ador claims that NewJeans' success was made possible by the agency's extensive financial and structural support, while NewJeans argues that they were subjected to discrimination and ultimately pushed aside in favor of a new group. Ador's legal representatives emphasize that NewJeans' rise to fame was not solely the result of the members' talent and hard work, but was heavily dependent on the efforts of Ador's 50-person staff, including stylists, choreographers, producers, and managers. They pointed out that HYBE invested a massive 21 billion Korean won approx $15 million USD into the group's debut, with 10 billion Korean won allocated specifically for marketing and promotions, an unprecedented amount in K-pop history. Furthermore, Ador reminded the court that NewJeans benefited from HYBE's vast network, appearing in a BTS music video pre-debut and receiving emotional support through challenges with HYBE-affiliated artists. Ador argues that NewJeans was strategically positioned as the younger sibling group of BTS at the request of Min-hee-jin, ensuring that they debuted with maximum exposure and credibility. From Ador's perspective, NewJeans' attempt to unilaterally terminate their contracts is legally unjustified. The label states that the group has not cited typical reasons for contract termination such as financial mismanagement or restrictions on promotions, but instead argues that they lost trust in HYBE. Ador insists that losing trust is not a valid legal reason to break a contract, especially when the company has upheld its end of the agreement. In response, NewJeans' legal team painted a different picture, portraying the members as victims of HYBE's internal politics and corporate favoritism. Their argument revolves around several key points. 1. Discrimination and media manipulation. NewJeans claims they suffered biased media play, particularly through HYBE's alleged discarding NewJeans for a new game board strategy. They argue that other HYBE artists never experienced the same level of corporate interference and mistreatment as them. 2. Being overshadowed by Les Seraphim. Producer Min-hee-jin was allegedly promised that NewJeans would be HYBE's first girl group, but their debut was delayed to prioritize Les Seraphim instead. A luxury brand initially selected member Hein as an ambassador, but later switched to signing with Les Seraphim, with NewJeans claiming HYBE had directly intervened. 3. Islet plagiarism controversy. NewJeans' team strongly argued that HYBE copied their debut plan when launching Islet, a new girl group under Belift Lab. They claim that an internal HYBE employee admitted that NewJeans' concept, styling, and even choreography were copied for Islet. When Min-hee-jin questioned this, she was subjected to a high-level audit and a lawsuit, further demonstrating HYBE's alleged attempt to silence dissent. 4. HYBE's alleged obstruction. According to NewJeans' legal team, the group planned to wear black ribbons during their performance at the 66th Japan Record Awards on December 30th, a move intended to honor the victims of the recent tragedy. However, HYBE initially opposed the decision, citing concerns that Japanese broadcasters might not approve of the tribute. Upon further investigation, NewJeans' representatives claim that the broadcasters had no objections to the black ribbons, suggesting that HYBE's reasoning was unfounded. In a last-minute effort to uphold the tribute, member Hani reportedly crafted a black ribbon herself and wore it on stage, ensuring that at least one member visibly paid respects. NewJeans' legal team further alleged that HYBE displayed clear favoritism, pointing out that other HYBE artists were allowed to wear memorial ribbons without issue. They argued that if NewJeans had followed Ador's initial directive and refrained from wearing the tribute, the public could have perceived the group as insensitive or indifferent, potentially triggering backlash against the members. This situation serves as clear evidence that Ador has been working behind the scenes to tarnish the members' reputation, NewJeans' lawyers claimed, suggesting that HYBE's reluctance to let the group wear the ribbons was not about corporate policy but about deliberately isolating NewJeans from public sympathy and favor. As the case progresses, the court must determine whether NewJeans' allegations of corporate favoritism and unfair treatment are enough to justify breaking a contract, or whether Ador's financial and structural investment in the group outweighs those grievances. The ruling could reshape the balance of power in K-pop, determining whether artists or agencies hold the ultimate control over their careers. For now, this is all we know, and more would be reported soon, so stay tuned.